Hello friends, and welcome to a brand new camera comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE against the Xiaomi 13T. On the FE, we are recording at 4K, while on the Xiaomi, we are recording at 1080p. Tell me in the comment section below which one do you think has better colors and which one has a better audio.
As per usual, let's begin comparing pictures taken with their front cameras. In this first sample, both phones are great. My face is sharp and detailed, but the S23 FE is doing slightly better with my hair, but the 13T has done a better job with my skin color. In the next sample, I was surprised since neither of them managed to take good pictures. The S23 FE made my face too saturated, while on the 13T I look washed out and even the background is overexposed. The S23 FE is doing a better job with the sky. Switching to the main cameras, and in this first case both phones offer great pictures. The sky is well exposed and the greenery is on point on both. The S23 FE is slightly brighter, but overall both are very similar. While I was looking these samples side by side, I noticed that the S23 FE does a better job by highlighting darker areas more compared to the 13T. This isn't really a big deal, but it's worth noting. In my testing, there were samples like this one where the Xiaomi 13T took more vibrant pictures with warmer colors while the FE was cooler. Both are great, and it is a personal taste on which one you prefer. The S23 FE continues to be better with shadow areas, and I really like Samsung's approach. The Xiaomi 13T isn't bad at all, but I prefer here the S23 FE. What I like about the FE is consistency, since it always takes pictures with the same color tone and sharpness, while the 13T sometimes, like in this sample, overexposes the sky and objects with light colors. Both devices are equipped with ultra-wide cameras, and we have mostly similar results just like before. The 13T is a bit brighter while the S23 FE seems to retain more details. The ultra-wide camera of the 13T in my eyes looks to be better in terms of shadow areas, since it is almost identical to the S23 FE. If we look closely, the latter is just a bit brighter, but the difference isn't as big as with the main cameras. The S23 FE, on the other hand, just like every Samsung phone, continues to take very detailed pictures. The 13T is slightly softer, but like I said, personal preference plays a big role. Despite the fact that they are from two totally different manufacturers, there were cases like this one where the results were almost identical. In my opinion, this is good since it shows consistency. Both phones do also have telephoto sensors. On the S23 FE, we have a 3x lens, while on the 13T it is a 2x optical zoom camera. Obviously, with the S23 FE we can zoom in a bit further, but even the 13T looks really good too. If we crop in with the 13T at 3x, we can clearly see that it doesn't lose quality at all. That's because it has a 50-megapixel telephoto sensor, which is much more compared to the 8-megapixel lens of the S23 FE. If we look closely, we can still notice that the S23 FE is a tad bit sharper, but overall I am very impressed with the zoom capabilities of the 13T. Pictures at 3x are perfectly usable even though they are just a bit smoother compared to the Galaxy. Their similarities continue even when taking portraits with their main cameras. Both phones did a fantastic job with my skin color, and even the background looks fine. The S23 FE is a bit more aggressive with the edge detection, while the separation of my hair with the background is more natural on the 13T. When taking portraits with their telephoto cameras, I prefer how the Galaxy handles my face since I look too yellow on the 13T. Edge detection, on the other hand, isn't really that good on these phones. With the 13T, I had to crop the image a bit more to match the perspective with the FE. When recording 4K videos with their main cameras, we can see that the stabilization on them is great. The sky, however, looks more preserved on the Xiaomi 13T, while it looks too flat on the S23 FE. In terms of colors, both seem to be similar if not identical, but because of the sky, I prefer the 13T. Even when recording with their ultra-wide cameras, they are almost identical. This time the S23 FE does a much better job with the dynamic range, and the sky looks very similar to the Xiaomi 13T. The latter is just a bit brighter, but for me there isn't a clear winner. At 3x, videos are much sharper on the S23 FE. Of course, the 13T is cropping digitally from 2x, but for pictures they were almost identical. In my eyes, videos at 3x are better on the S23 FE. Although the footage from the 13T isn't bad, I just prefer the Galaxy. Moving to low light, and from now on every picture is taken with night mode enabled. As seen from these samples, the S23 FE is brighter and sharper. The 13T has more of that night scenery to it, but personally I prefer the FE. In the next case, the pictures are more similar to each other, but the Galaxy is still a bit brighter. This device is also keeping more of the facial details, while the 13T is softer overall. With their main cameras in this scenario, I prefer the 13T from Xiaomi. That's because it has livelier colors and it looks better for the eyes. The red text on the back is also better handled by this device, since it was like this in real life, not how it is shown on the Galaxy. The FE does recover on the next scene by offering a brighter and sharper picture, yet still it keeps the night scenery. Brighter doesn't necessarily mean better, but I like when my pictures show more details. The 13T seems to be reliable in almost every case. It isn't as bright as the FE, but it has the same warm colors in almost every scene. The FE is a cooler, but it is also brighter, and it doesn't quite show the night scenery as the 13T. The warmer colors of the Xiaomi 13T are really pleasing, and even the light bulbs in this particular sample are better managed, while they are overexposed on the S23 FE. Obviously I prefer here the Xiaomi 13T. With the ultra-wide cameras in the same spot, the difference is even bigger in favor of the Xiaomi 13T. Although night mode is used on both phones, the S23 FE looks as if it hasn't activated this feature. That's why it is messy compared to the great picture of the 13T. The FE makes a comeback in the very next case by offering a sharper picture. The 13T is also really good, and it even looks more natural, but light flare is a bit more present on this device. In tougher situations where the light sources are barely present, the S23 FE does a much better job. It is not only brighter than the 13T but also sharper and more refined. For these kinds of situations, I think the FE is a better choice. The 13T is a better phone in cases where we still have lights on the scene, like here for example, where the sky is still bright, and it helps the 13T to retain more details. The umbrellas are brighter on the FE, but the overall picture is sharper on the 13T. While during the day at 3x, the 13T was just as sharp as the FE in low light, it is a different story. Here we can see that the S23 FE has more of the natural details, while the 13T tries to compensate by over-sharpening the umbrella. Generally, the telephoto cameras are left behind in smartphones, and the results at night are proof of this. In this particular sample, I don't like any of the pictures, and I really hope that in the future telephoto sensors will be as good as the main cameras. The S23 FE uses the same zoom camera that was originally on the S20 FE, while the 13T is the first phone from the T series to offer a telephoto sensor. For me, the S23 FE wins this round, but I am not that impressed with it either. So guys, what do you think? Let me know which one was your winner. For me, both phones were great in most of the cases, and I can't really pick one over the other. If you did enjoy this video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. Thank you for watching, and for more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel.